Well. Some very, very big updates as it relates to Drake and his pre-action lawsuits towards UMG and Spotify. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to forget about this, right? It's still in all recent memory. We're talking about 6 weeks, damn near, right? Like this just went in. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do some reaction. I have a one pager here. Let me bring this up on the screen. There's no need for me to bring up the full joint because I think it's only like 3 or 4 pages. The first page pretty much sums it up. Let's read this out real quick just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and then we'll talk about it. All right. Supreme Court of New York State, right? So this was Frozen Moments. That's Drake's side of the gate, right? Versus UMG Recording and Spotify. Okay. Notice of withdrawal of order to show cause. Oh, I'm sorry, cause and discontinuance. You see that in bold letters here on the side? All right. To the court, plaintiff and its attorney of record. Please take notice that petitioner of Frozen Moments LLC by its attorneys hereby withdraws its order to show cause, seeking pre-action disclosure and preservation of certain documents and communications from respondent UMG Recordings Incorporated. So pretty much that's the request for all that documentation that was going in. We want proof. I want to know what's going on with these bots. I want to know what's going on with the inflation of allegedly not like us. I want to know how you and Spotify possibly conspired to make this record as massive as it was. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like head scratchy to a lot of people. But the request for all that stuff and this action is being pretty much sewed up right there in the first paragraph. Please take further notice that petitioner hereby voluntarily discontinues this special proceeding as all respondents without cost to any party. Plaintiff met and conferred with respondents on January 14, 2025 regarding this filing. Respondent Spotify, which has filed an opposition to the order, show cause. Respondent that Spotify has no objection to the withdrawal and discontinuance. Respondent UMG, which has not yet filed an opposition to the order to show cause, has reserved its position. That is interesting. That's very, very interesting to me. So the way that I read that, right? So Drake and Frozen and his side is saying, we withdraw from this. It's all good. No cause, no harm, no foul. No, we're not looking for no money. We're not looking for anything to happen on either side. Let's just keep this neutral. You go your way, I go my way, right? Spotify responds and says, you know what? We agreed to this. Bye. Have a good day. UMG, we haven't gotten a response yet. That's interesting. So this was the 14th. This was yesterday. So let me not try to add all types of extras on it or anything like that. I would assume UMG would take the same position. At the end of the day, isn't Drake still a super cash cow that signed to them? Like if Drake puts this in, if he moves forward at some point back in November with moving on his umbrella company, and then they come to the table and say, okay, I'll be your Huckleberry. And then he gets to this point, January 14th, and he withdraws and say, listen, man, let's just leave this alone. No harm, no foul, right? I don't want nothing from you. You don't want nothing from me. Let's just continue on with whatever directions we going, right? And UMG says, well, I still got some issues with you. That would kind of surprise me. I ain't gonna lie. That would kind of surprise me. But I would honestly expect UMG to take the same position that Spotify just took, which is like, all right, cool. You looking to walk away? I'll walk away too. Both directions. All right. You go right, I'll go left. Kid and play house party type shit. No. The other way. The other way. You guys go the other shit. That's for my movie heads, but all right, let's chop this fable now. Let's talk about this. The goods, the bads, the pros, the cons. Here's the good thing about this. I want to start with the good because I feel like the immediate response is the whole world, the whole hip hop world is against Drake. They feel like he's done a lot of corny stuff. He's made a lot of corny moves. He's continued to shoot himself in the foot time and time again ever since the Kendrick battle has happened, right? So the immediate response on the internet is going to be to clown Drake about this. Damn, you ain't even last 2 months. Like, the fuck? What the fuck is going on with this shit? Here's why I want to go good first, right? At the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm a very, very, very big believer in that. Okay. If you are wrong, it's actually better that he realized this or was advised this or decided this or found out the hard way behind the scenes. Nobody really knows, right? But it's better to just get 2 months in and say, you know what, let me leave this alone rather than 2 years in. These civil suits and whatnot, sometimes this shit could take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It gets expensive for everybody. Both people start getting marred, both sides get dirty, more things get revealed, more things come in, countersuits, people get upset, all types of stuff comes out of this, right? So rather 2 months than 2 years. Okay. So that right there, I want to give a positive to Drake's side, right? I don't think it's easy to put something like this in and then within 2 months have to retract in front of the whole world. It makes you look weak. It makes you look like you took a loss, right? Nobody wants to look weak. Nobody ever wants to look like they lost. Everybody's got to be big bad in front of the fan. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think he has to put his ego to the side for this to happen in a short amount of time like this. So I do want to say that, right? Also on the pro side, I I I don't think that him moving forward with something like this in the first place was ever going to land in his favor. Common sense, and we're not even behind the scenes of all this politics and the actual deal that Drake has with UMG or how Spotify's algorithms or website or mechanics promote certain songs or certain artists or playlists at certain times, right? We've gotten some of the details that have come out. We could research some of this stuff too, but the little small details behind the scenes, some of it we'll never know unless you work for Spotify or you work for UMG or you're in Drake's camp, right? So at the end of the day, this suit or this pre-action lawsuit that's being dropped, okay, it's all towards, yo, you guys conspired together to inflate the Not Like Us record in the middle of my beef, right? So everybody was common sense, like, dude, they did the same shit for your albums. What are you expecting to happen here? You want to get down the road to discovery and realize how much they may have just this have been automatic because the song really did catch fire and then they just placed it in the algorithms automatically? Or did they get behind it because that's what they normally do anyway? Right. So it just would have made no sense to us. So I don't think that you continue down this road and then you realize, like, okay, the bots or any of that other type of stuff that Spotify comes out and they have public promotions that are purchasable really is the only type of stuff that you can prove. Anything past that, we've done for you as well. This is not adding up. This is going to be a loss. I would rather neutralize it now than 2 years later lose this in front of the world. Right. And if you lose it in front of the world, you don't know if UMG or Spotify, they come back and they say, now it's my turn. You don't know that, right? So sometimes it's not always good to walk to the finish line, right? It's not always good to walk to the finish line in some of this shit. All right. So, and let me add this as well, people. Let's remember there's two suits or two pre-action lawsuits that went in. The first one is the one that we're talking about, the inflation, when the bots and the numbers and you promoted it and you did this and you did that. That's the New York Supreme Court one that we just read. There's another one, the second one that came out. It was like 24 hours later and the world got shaken up again. Like, what the fuck is Drake doing? That's the one that's filed in Texas. That's the one for defamation. That one actually, from a hip hop standpoint, made him look even worse than this one. We don't want to see any loss. The whole world has been reacting, saying a lawsuit for a rap battle. Like it doesn't make sense. This is changing the course of hip hop as the nature of what we all do here, right? So the second one, it feels worse like defamation. Like in rap battles, you guys say nasty things and meany things back and forth to it. What the fuck do you mean defamation? So I'm waiting to hear if that's what's next. Just like we didn't find out that both of these pre-action lawsuits went in at the same time, right? We heard this one, and then we heard the defamation after. I'm assuming, just an assumption, people. I've been losing bets lately. All right, I paid 40 cal yesterday. I sent him his $100 for everybody that watched yesterday's stream. I lost that bet just like that. Jim puts that fucking song out. It's like, damn. But anyway, I would bet money, $100 again, that if you're gonna drop the one, that's filed in New York, related to inflating numbers and over promotion in an effort to destroy me, right? If that one's getting dropped, the defamation one got to get dropped too, right? That one, from a hip hop standpoint, makes Drake look even worse. And the defamation one wasn't supposed to be him playing Superman. Okay. So these are the pros. I don't have too many pros. If I think about more, we'll talk about them here as we continue. But let's get to the cons. Now, I just mentioned him playing Superman. Those fucking DMs. This is one of the cons right now. If those DMs never came out, this doesn't look as bad with him dropping out of this, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever later, right? Think about those DMs that just came out that the Drake fans were backing and fighting over, and academics is trying to figure out how to navigate and still find ways to endorse Drake's decisions and movements. Think about it. Those DMs said things to the effect of, UMG backing Not Like Us is, and I'm paraphrasing, is like Nike endorsing LeBron and then saying that he cheated on his wife. All these prior artists, they never was these type of artists and blah, 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 blah. So I'm pretty much going to save the day. I'm going to shake things up. I'm going to change the way UMG and these labels got to deal with us, right? And that was what all the people, if you were trying to find a way to stand on Drake's side, if you were trying to find a way to be unlike hip hop, anti hip hop for the moment, and go corporate for a second, because everybody wants to say hip hop is the streets, hip hop is this, it's from the gutter, it's from the street corners, it's this, it's that. And in the moment that you fanboys for Drake that try to find anything to hold on to defend him, you had, that's what you guys held your hat on. You went corporate. You went corporate and you said, no, 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 wait, everybody. Drake is going to just totally reformat the industry and make it a safe place for the next artist and all the people that will come after him. That's what people held their hats on. Once again, that one was just dropped, right? Because defamation can't save all of you, right? It was the bigger situation about numbers and promotion and, right? That one's gone now, right? So I think with those DMs, and Drake allegedly, because I believe that those DMs is real, dude just showed too much, and the way that he put it all together and showed back history between him and Drake, and you know, sponsoring fight events and whatnot. Like it just looks real. Like if I had to bet my money, I would say that conversation is real. You know what I mean? And the way that looks now is like, if you just recently took that position while we were all here discussing LeBron, right? And just a week later, because we're just talking about that, this shit gets dropped. Whatever happened to all this Superman, this cape? I'm going to save the industry and I'm doing this for the artist. It's us versus the machines now. That's what y'all all ran around with. So I want to see everybody that went crazy. That was their defense for this Drake move. I want to see what they're going to do now. When I listen to Maul and some of the, I want to see what they're going to do now. Is it going to be, well, no, like at some point, y'all got to fucking keep it 1,000. At some point. It's okay if Drake does something wrong. He's a fucking human just like y'all. He does good shit and he does fuck shit just like the rest of us. The fuck? So those DMs, it's just all at the same time period. So what made him allegedly within that span of time say, all right, I'm not here to save you motherfuckers anymore. I'm dropping this shit. Well, if you are of the belief that those DMs is true, and if you are of the opinion that Drake meant those words, and if you are going in the opposite direction a week and a half later, you know what that means to me? It was never about anybody else. It was always about you. And I think we did a reaction to a video. I think it was on Rapaholics. Shout out to Rapaholics, when we was watching one of those videos and was saying, well, we've seen this before. Kanye did it. It's you mask a move supposedly at these big machines or these big companies or Adidas or UMG or Spotify, and you mask it as if I'm here to save the day. I'm here to play Superman. I'm here to help my peers. I'm here to help the up and coming artists. I'm here to help the next wave, right? But you're really just doing it for yourself. And we're not stupid. The way that they kind of tried to expose Kanye around that is because Kanye did all that shit. Oh, look what y'all doing to Taylor Swift. Oh, this is how it should really be. That's why, oh, I'm giving back all my. And then they looked and they said, wait, you didn't give these people back their shit, Kanye, right? Are you stunting? And it looks similar now for those Drake DMs. Like, dude, this ain't no Superman moment that you was ever on. It makes us go back and say, you never really meant it. It was never about UMG. It was never about you really believing that they did something that for him that they never did for you. It was never about that. It was you just spiraling at the aftermath of losing this battle. These are the cons of it. These are the cons of it. So I don't respect frivolous shit. I never respect frivolous shit. Never, never. I believe frivolous shit is for suckers. And the suck. I said it before. I said it last year. I said frivolous lawsuits are for the leeches and the suckers of the world. Real shit. And I'm sure the whole chat agrees with me. Right. So on one side of the token, I'm so glad, Drake, that 2 months is better than 2 years of standing on something that doesn't look like it's sturdy. When people try to stand on shaky grounds, like those are the type of people. You know what I'm saying? So it says that they found a common like people. Let's not overreach. Let's not say that there's nothing saying that Spotify, because we didn't hear the reaction from UMG yet. It's nothing saying that Spotify, paid. Nobody paid anybody. I think that's pretty clear in the paperwork, right? That happens sometimes in agreements or settlements. You could have a fucking war behind the scenes and have a settlement where it's just like you go your way and I go my way, right? But your intentions behind the lawsuit, um, to begin with, is sometimes revealed, right? If it's not revealed during, it could be revealed after, right? And this is all happening in the public. So because it's happening in the public, we're pretty much interpreting this shit with logic. And I do, once again, I want to give kudos to Drake for just like, I know it's an ego hit, like to have to see this shit. Like, fuck, 6 weeks later. Like, was I ever standing on it? Did I ever really mean that? But better now than later on. Don't drag some bullshit. Okay. Let me come to the chat because I'm curious of y'all reactions to seeing Drake have to withdraw from this shit so fast. Um, Damn, Ray says the longest L in history. So let's talk about that for a quick second. Now imagine you're Kendrick. It's like at least once a month, Kendrick is able to just sit over there quietly and his phone just starts blowing up with some other shit that's like a win for him. Like he wake up one morning and it's like, yo, your man Drake just fucking dropped Hey Delilah. All right, let me play it. What? They get another text. Yo, your man Drake just sued UMG and Spotify. What? Yo, your man Drake cut his braids off. It's your man Drake just ran down on DeMar DeRozan. Like it's just like, yo. And now Kendrick wakes up this morning. Somebody always felt like, yo, your man just dropped that UMG shit, right? The man just gets to sit over there quiet. And this is why they're attacking that spiral shit on Drake, because he never sat down throughout all of this. It was just a continued things that were happening. Even the fighting Irish shit, like, and LeBron, like, that's big to people right now, right? And academics is getting himself flamed on the internet just as much as Drake is now behind that shit. And I seen him act like he wanted to apologize, and then he was just too egotistical for the apology. I saw that clip. It was him, like, he realized how much the internet said, yo, there's some clown shit you just did. And he was like, oh man, I was tripping. Well, I gotta stand there. I, it's very unfortunate. I know a lot of people are like that. At times I have been like that. It's when you just, your ego keeps you there. There's the common sense side of things. There's the logic side of things. There's the truth side of things. And that person of you is over there. But the ego is standing right here in the fucking cement shoes and you can't move. And that's what academics is. And that's why he can't apologize for that shit. And It is what it is, like him, the LeBron thing, but these are all the things that's around Drake of being created from Drake one way or another. And longest L in history is crazy. Facts, that's a bigger one. I assume you're talking about the second lawsuit, the one that's in Texas. So yeah, if let's answer this question. If the defamation one remains, that I would just have to continue to watch that from a legal standpoint, because you talk about not understand. I don't understand how it went in the first place. I don't understand really. I mean, we get the cause of it. What he's saying is you promoted something that defamed me, from the cover art of the crib with the sex offender pins on the top to being called the pedo in the song or whatever, but it's a rap battle. So that doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, you can't even be on some old like, well, I'm in the industry. I don't be knowing that rap battle shit. Drake is like one of the biggest rap battle fans of industry artists ever. He knows RBE. He knows URL. He knows King of the Dot. He knows their battles. He's been to their events. He sponsored some of them. He was involved in Caffeine. He sponsored King of the Dot even before Caffeine. He's reviewed RBE battles to work with Mook to create cards. Like, I put it all on my gram and shit. It was a reminder that everybody watches RBE, because the form of battle rap, that pure form of hip hop, if you're a hip hop head, you watch battle rap too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't up there don't respect us down here the way that y'all should, but y'all watch the shit out of us, right? Somebody's clicking all these hundreds of thousands and millions of views, right? So I'm not shocked at all. But he knows battle rap, right? And the defamation thing, how does that remain now that the first one is gone? And of course, I don't think that they're one and one alike. But as soon as you just hear that word in the legal paperwork, defamation, you see what Shotgun Suge just fucking rapped to Remy Ma and Easy to Block Captain. That shit's probably like over 500,000 views already. Just dropped, right? Defamation, defamation in battle rap, like defamation. Like you know what I think sometimes happens, people, from a legal standpoint. I did see it before in the battle rap arena, and I ain't gonna say the example, right? I'll keep that private. Only a few people might know about that. But sometimes there could be a lawsuit, okay? And that could be your main target. All right. Let's say your main objective. Okay. Let's say let's say I'm suing you, UMG, because I really do believe that you inflamed the fuck out of that song. I'm the golden boy. I've been dropping records forever. I've never seen a song take off like that. So to me, it feels artificial. Okay, cool. From your perspective, that's how you felt about Not Like Us. I'm suing you, or a pre-action lawsuit about that. I need some paperwork. I need some proof. I need to see what's going on Spotify. I need to see your paperwork and your algorithm. I need to see it. Somebody got to talk to me about this. I don't believe it. Cool. Let's say that continued on, right? And UMG comes to the table during discovery and they start saying, all right, well, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this, right? And if, let's say, Drake's side starts to feel like, all right, well, this is kind of, one way or another, or our case isn't as strong as it started, or we could potentially get to the finish line after 2 years of going through this, and it's not a guarantee. We don't see no guarantee win here. We can potentially lose as well, right? And if you lose, you open yourself up to all types of stuff, right? You never know. Counters and fees and counters, all that type of stuff, right? So sometimes on that process, there could be another lawsuit added, right? That you're trying to use to compound, right? So while I got you here for this inflation of the Not Like Us record, let me also throw in the fact, like, oh yeah, and by the way, 2 years ago, you never paid me for that single that went out, right? You throw something else into compound, something that's not really your priority, but you're trying to compound, right? And I've seen that before. I've literally seen that before. And I feel like when people go through these type of legal processes, it's just all chess. It's all about your tactics. Some people have a tactic of just trying to compound, and they want to see how much weight you can actually walk around with. If I put all these bricks on your shoulders, I want to see how long you can walk. And people are waiting to see that. They're looking to see if you will crack, right? There's other times where people just play patient. It's like, okay, cool. Sooner or later, it'll be my turn, right? Or I know for a fact I have all these trump cards over here, and when it's my turn, I'm gonna put them on the table, and I'm gonna blow your whole shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's chess that these people play, right? So that could have been that. It could have been the compounding approach. I'm really, really here to figure out how the fuck not like us did that. How? It's about to win Grammys and shit. Like how? I don't see it. And while I'm here, defamation too. It could have been that. It could have been that. He stands on that defamation shit. If that shit continues, damn. Damn. Because like I said, that to me was the way lighter one. That was the one that was just like, what? What? The first one made us all scratch our head, but that one was just like we were all disgusted at it. So I expect that one to go. But from a legal standpoint, man, it's just, you know, I hope he's being advised well. I'm sure he is. He probably spends a lot of money on his legal team. I'm pretty sure he's being advised pretty well. And we spoke about in a stream before about like, yo, who's reading the room for Drake? That's always been a question of mine, right? I feel like, is it a lawyer's job to consider the PR side of things for you? No, that's not what I'm going to assume ever. Right. That's a whole different department in your building. Right. You got your finance department, you got your HR department, you got your PR department, you got your fucking your image that they dress you and all that type of shit. You got your right. So legally, like I don't know if Drake ever interpreted what his brand would suffer behind this type of stuff, right? Whether he was right or wrong. He really could walk this stuff to the finish line and fight UMG and Spotify for years, get to the finish line and win, and there will still be half of the hip hop culture, bare minimum, that'll say that was some fuck shit, and I'll never respect you for it. That could be the case. Because that's the PR side of things, that's the public perception side of things, that's the image and the brand side of things, right? And I just don't know if that was ever considered. And that's why I started the stream where I said, let's start on the positive side because everybody's about to clown Drake for dropping out in a month and a half, right? But there's also a side of it where I think that we should say, well, kudos to you for not trying to walk this stupid shit to the finish line and getting the fuck and leaving this shit alone, dropping this shit, right? Hopefully PR was interpreted for that. They would probably feel like there's going to be some fans out there that'll look at us like that. The Sorry It's True podcast, some of those little small pocket podcasts might spread that word for us. Only because I'm fair. I'm gonna do both sides of it. The side where I say like, oh, that was some fuck shit, and it's so yeah. Shout out to the members. Good morning to y'all as well. UMG said you sure. So what if UMG comes back and says on some Bronx Tale shit? No, now you just can't leave. What if UMG does do that? What if UMG is just like, oh no. Now it benefits me to be here. You know what I'm saying? Now it benefits me. Yes, I'll be nicer early. You never know, man. But I don't expect that. You know what? You got to sometimes realize when you're right, when you're wrong, when you won, when you lost. Wins come in many, many different forms, and so do losses, right? People always want to protect their image and their brands and their egos, right? But a win could come in the form for UMG. A win could come in the form of simply the biggest rapper ever, numbers wise, the LeBron of rap, right? He came through, he put a pre-action lawsuit. Everybody interprets it exactly as a lawsuit, right? As if Drake had them going back and forth to fucking court and taking a stand and shit. That's just perception when people hear court and lawsuit, right? That's not really how it works, but that's the perception. And that same guy within less than 2 months dropped it. UMG, you just won. Now, the artists that would may have looked at you and said, "Oh, wow, did you really, really do something wrong to Drake?" They can't look at you like that anymore. And the LeBron is the one that pretty much just said, I gotta leave this alone." So people's going to follow LeBron. If LeBron gets out there and gets too crazy saying, like, "Yo, this midseason tournament, I'm not doing it," people will follow. You see what I'm saying? So that's where everybody was gonna watch Drake and say, "Damn, is he gonna win? Because there might be some games for me if he does. Is he gonna win? Is he gonna do this?" So that's a win for UMG. Like, you can't, don't overshoot your mark. Don't they say that in the laws of power? Right? You don't overshoot your mark. Like, you don't get out here, catch a dub, catch a win, and then try to extend it further than it needs to be extended. Right? And sometimes a win still can come out of just even your own wrongs. Right? And I mean, like, as far as Drake, like, it's a win if this is all dropped out and UMG doesn't say, "No, no, 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 now you just can't leave." That's a win. That's a win. Because what if you were just wrong by starting all this shit? So if you're wrong to start the lawsuit or the pre-action lawsuit and then you're able to just walk away cleanly, that's a win. You walk into a room, you slap somebody, and you say, "Yo, man, I heard you put your hands on my sister." And the person's sitting there with a slap face. And he didn't even react in the moment. You don't realize that the same person you slap got this big brother that's ready to come and Swiss cheese your whole house nonstop until your whole family's gone, right? And he's just like, "Yo, you slapped me," right? Now he's in the right to slap you back or react however he wants to react. And then the whole room is like, "Yo, you slapped the wrong person." And you say, "Oh shit, I slapped the wrong person. I caught a free slap though. I apologize." If this person is willing to say, "All right, we're gonna leave it there," the person that slapped them, that's a win because you could have got fucked up badly behind that. You could have got dragged continually behind that. You could have ended up in a lot of shit behind that. And you was able to walk away clean. So people don't know how to not overshoot their mark, right? And that's what keeps things interesting even on both sides to me. So, all right. Kay put in here, "I'm a winner." What are y'all talking about? Drake got Ethan. See, I know it. Y'all gonna tear him down behind this. Y'all are gonna tear him down behind this, but it's actually a good move. It's a everybody. Fresh Roam TV just killed my whole vibe, my whole morning. Um, my stomach just turned. I'm sick, fucking sick. I I don't know how to respond to that. No, 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 don't block him. No, no, no. He's the homie. He's one of us still. This is still the chat. It's okay, people. Chat. Don't block him. He deserves to get his ass whooped in the chat. Don't block him. No blocks. No, no. You should get your ass whooped in the chat badly. What's wrong with you? Why you come in this chat and say that? Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that, B? Yo, why would you do that? uh, 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 I'm trying to move on. Cal Capone, salute, Obi Kabore. I need your help with thumbnails. So I was just having this conversation. I've had this conversation a couple times recently. I use Photoshop. I've been doing Photoshop for years. And if you look at the thumbnails of the Sorry Shoe podcast over like the last 2 years, it started like 2 years ago, but then I picked it back up after I retired the podcast. And you'll see the evolution of my thumbnails if you scroll down the channel. And the evolution just continues until I found something that I felt I liked, I was comfortable with, was fitting of the channel, was fitting of me. Like even the yellow in it to me loans towards the Sorry Is True podcast logo, which is yellow, and the whole history of RBE, which the logo's always been yellow, the yellow bricks in the background, all that type of shit. So, but I use Photoshop, and I'm still learning. Every day I learn something new in the editing world. I've been editing for years. And that's all. It's just continued practice of editing, getting better and better and better, and trying, not being scared to try new things. I'm never scared to try new things. My losses will also happen right here in front of y'all. It'll be the wrong title that's not really perfect for what I'm talking about. It could be whether I'm uploading versus streaming live. It could be my thumbnails. I'm evolving. But I use Photoshop, homie. So I know there's some other editors out there, but that's personally what I use. Oh my goodness. Hey, yo, Fresh fuck me up, yo. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fresh fuck me up. I'm about to get up out of here, yo. That nigga Fresh fuck my morning up, B. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm about to go watch season 1. Fuck is wrong with you, G?
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Is True podcast. Welcome to the house up. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.